The media conference is really inspiring for anyone who's really interested in a career in media after university. A lot of our speakers this year were former University of Nottingham alumni who have gone on to be really successful in their industries. So it's very inspiring, and it gives you an opportunity to have some ideas of what to do post-university as well.
I think the media conference is a really good way to connect with journalists who are already in the industry, who've had a similar experience to you in starting out there. You get really great advice and really great insight into the just how to get into journalism and media.
Well, every year is really interesting because there's so much of a perspective from different sides of the industry, television production we had last year, journalism, all that kind of thing. So you get a mix of everything, so there's something for everyone, and you learn much more than you think you're going to learn.
There was such a vast variety of different people, so from PR to news journalism to freelancing. So it really helped sort of starting to make a focus on what interests me in the media industry and what doesn't interest me and what are the ways to get into it.
For me, I think it was more hearing what other people had done, because I think that you can be very entrenched in student media and not really think about what happens after university. So to see the different ways that you can get into the media industry is really helpful.
It's really inspiring and insightful to meet journalists who have been in your position, and just to find out their stories about how they got into the media business, and also to hear their advice. They often give you do's and don'ts about where to get employed, what to do, how to get your name out there, and it's really good for networking and building up some contacts.
I think talking to the people afterwards and asking questions that very much you can really get everything out of it that you want. You can ask questions as specific as what should I do to pump up my CV, or what should I do to stand out. That really helped.
Alice's talk last year about all her work at The Guardian and then her work at the BBC was really my favourite, because she was very down to earth about the fact that it can be really bad when you first start out. It can be bad to feel like you're at the bottom, but it's worth building your way up. And she was editor-in-chief of Impact, so it's really interesting to see how you can be part of Impact and then move up and stuff. So I definitely think her talk was my favourite.
I think for me, the best thing was talking to the journalists and the producers and getting an idea of how they've managed to progress in their field. And also I know a couple of people who in previous years have been able to get some really great work experience as well.
There was a journalist there from The Guardian who told us a story about how she worked on the Guardian news desk during the France terrorist attack last year, and it was really interesting to hear that from her perspective and to hear her advice about how to handle those kind of situations. And yeah, that was such an interesting story, and it was really great to chat to someone who's been in the midst of that kind of breaking news story.
So we've got some really exciting speakers at the Media Conference 2016. We have got some journalists doing political journalism at The Guardian. We've got entertainment editorial from the Nottingham Post, and we've got some great producers from Capital FM and also for the BBC.